Morning. Clear back. It's actually clear ahead, but stop sign, that means I stop. All right, so nice day, beautiful weather. Tried making a little video blog Friday morning on my ride to work. Unfortunately, it was very windy. I couldn't barely hear myself talk, so it really didn't come through well on the audio of the video recording at all. So rather than sit at my desk and trying to make a video, which I don't really have time to do, getting out for a bike ride. Probably going to do a little bit easier ride than normal, just so that I'm not out of breath. Going up these hills, it's going to be hard to do. Try my best, speak clearly, but hope you'll give me a bit of patience getting the words out sometimes. So, this wasn't a blog to begin with. It's just I had uploaded some videos to make several police reports. I'm pretty sure I didn't submit every one of them to the police. You know, like something minor, I understand, you know, and cops have got better things to do. But I guess one big thing on my mind has always been distracted driving. You know, I follow the stats, and you know, when a report comes out that 7 out of the 8 past years distracted driving has been responsible for more road deaths in Ontario than driving under the influence, I think it's a concern, legitimately so. And when there's an article online quoting the Ontario Provincial Police Commissioner saying that distracted driving should be everybody's concern, you know, passengers, other motorists and road users, and just the public in general, then I think it's something that, you know, we should pay attention to and not tolerate. And I have zero tolerance for someone that is breaking the distracted driving rules or law in Ontario. Gonna stop talking for a bit here just because downhill into the wind, probably gonna be noisy. So yeah, you'll notice that even though there's a shoulder here that's got a line on it, for my own safety, because there's pretty rough roads in places, gravel in other places that aren't going to show up on the camera, but if I ride across them on my bike, you know, there's a risk that I'm going to get a flat tire. Number one, that's probably the biggest risk, but you know, just number two, safety. I'm on my own, so if I didn't have to get over, it wouldn't be much of an issue, but if I was riding in a group, I'd also use hand signals to kind of, you know, put a hand out on my right side, indicate that there's gravel or some kind of debris by kind of shaking my fingers all over the place. That's kind of the universal cyclist hand signal for pay attention to the whatever's laying around loose on the road, because if you're riding behind someone else, you can have your view obstructed and you're not going to see those fine details. You know, you're trying to make sure that you're not overlapping the other person's wheel and doing something that might cause you to have a bit of an accident or problem like that. So today I'm just taking it easy, wearing my commuting helmet because it's got a mount on it for my video camera. Normally when I'm on this road bike here, gravel on the shoulder again, lots of it. Also when I'm approaching a intersection with a stop sign, I like to take the lane just so that, you know, if there's a car behind me, it should wait. If you were in a car approaching an intersection behind another vehicle, you'd stop and wait for the vehicle ahead of you to clear the intersection before you don't pass another car in an intersection. Why would you try and pass a bicycle? Just, you know, a little bit more common courtesy would help out a lot. Stoplights, intersections, you name it. Now this is a narrow shoulder, it's not wide enough for a bike lane, so I'm gonna hug the line, but you know, avoid some of this wheel polish on the road as well, hopefully. So yeah, like, I don't know how much sound is coming through on my video camera, but you know, I can hear the crickets chirping in the grass, hear the odd cardinal, blue jay, robin. I might have left my ride a little bit late this morning to see any deer, but fresh air, this is beautiful. This is why I get on my bike. This is, you know, I enjoy it. And yeah, like, little comment. I usually wave to most of the people I see when I'm out, like pedestrians, other cyclists, joggers. I guess, you know, seen 3 joggers so far. Wave to all of them. The second person I saw, the guy that waved me through the traffic circle at the pedestrian crossing at Herb and Herbsville Road, or also Iron Needles Boulevard ends right there, was Alan George. You know, he's Emeritus faculty member at the University of Waterloo, and you know, former head of IST. You know, top guy that you know, my boss's boss reported to, and generally he's all around awesome, nice person. Oh, bit of glass on the road there. Gotta look out for that. Alright, headed uphill once again. A little bit less wind makes it probably easier to talk, and I want to give a bit of a shout out to some Grand River Transit bus drivers, at least 2 of them, that I would say, you know, I gotta think that they were extremely courteous. Good morning. And you know, driving with more care than I've seen from others. Morning. Kudos. Like, you know, been on my bike, kind of getting close to a bus stop a couple times in the past week, and instead of a bus driver, you know, accelerating me, passing me, and then, you know, slamming on the brakes and stopping, which usually needs to happen in the bike lane to be able to pull up to the bus stop for the bus. You know, both these drivers just waited patiently. You know, it was awesome. As a cyclist, I was extremely happy or satisfied, even a little bit amazed that both of them would take the time to do that. So yeah, shout out to them. Awesome. So there's a vehicle behind me. I'm just doing a couple of little hand signals. I don't know if they'll understand me, but you know, the potholes and other stuff on the driveway. You know, this guy was extremely courteous, you know. I would say on the whole, most encounters I have out on the road are positive. You know, it's just the odd, you know, once in a blue moon, you know, maybe, you know, it's not every day. Probably once a week there's something that might tick you off and you don't say nothing about it. It's, you know, it's minor. Let it roll. You know, other times, you know, like that, you know, the van that, yeah, I shouldn't have gave them a little tap. Shouldn't have raised my voice as I went by to ask them to stay out of the bike lane. But, you know, what the video doesn't show, probably could have shown more video, is that he was in and out of the bike lane long before he put his signal light on. Yeah, I know he put his signal light on, but cars are not supposed to be using the bike lane as a turning lane. At least not up until the point where the dashed lines begin. Solid white line means you're not supposed to be in there with your vehicle, with the exception of if you're trying to avoid a road hazard, you know, like maybe a road debris, pothole, and then the vehicle is supposed to, you know, only enter the bike lane if it's safe to do so. Most of the time, yeah, it is safe to do so. I think a lot of cars don't check, but you know, if there's no bike there, I guess no harm done. Trouble is, a lot of times cars are into the bike lane not because they're trying to avoid road debris or potholes, but just through inattention and carelessness. You know, they want to get home, I don't know, a split second faster, so they're cutting a corner on a curve. You know, statistically speaking, curves in a road are the second most dangerous place for a cyclist. Number one is intersections. So intersections, they're always the place that I pay more attention anywhere else. You know, a lot of drivers don't signal when they're going to turn, or they leave it so late that, you know, you don't have a chance. Simple fact that there's a dashed line for the bike lane coming up to the intersection, if it's not safe to cross in front of me, if you're forcing me to put my brakes on, then you're not turning properly. If you're already at the intersection ahead of me, you know, the dash line's begun, you're moving right to make the turn, I'll slow. You know, you've got the right of way. Up until that point, you don't. If I'm beside you, or you're so close to the front of my wheel that I would have to brake for you to make your lane change, it's the same as if you were trying to change lanes out on a car. You don't do it until it's safe. I guess other things would be, you know, using a raised voice. Yeah, probably a little bit of anger at times. The number one reason I would shout would be just to make sure that I've got the attention of the driver. You know, split second, if the anger's there, it's gone. And if they want to have a nice polite conversation afterwards, that's fine with me. Morning. Yeah, hand wave. I know, not every cyclist waves to others, but most of the ones I know do. Can you say the same thing about people driving a car? Well, not everyone, but there are actually a few that you know, I've been stopped at an intersection waiting, and you know, a car is beside me. Either I pulled up beside them or they pulled up beside me, and they see the camera on my helmet and they ask me about it. Unfortunately, you know, I haven't been saving those, but in the future I'm gonna. I think posting a few of them might be a good thing to do. Alright, I'm just signaling I'm stopping. I'm gonna turn right here. This is an intersection where people tend to blow around that corner. Cars and cyclists. I know the cycling club policy is we stop at stop signs. You might have heard me unclipping there. So I just, you know, my toe tapped the pavement. It's quick, but, you know, I'm stopped. Morning. Morning. Awesome out here. I was thinking about mounting my camera at the front of my bike in reverse direction, so it was pointing back at me. Thinking, you know, you'd maybe give a chance for the camera to see that I'm smiling most of the time I'm on my bike. Probably the odd time, well, some of those hills where the smile turns into a little bit of a grimace as I have to put a little more effort into it. But given that the camera, you know, is a little bit of my insurance policy, you know, keeping me safe. If there's ever something that happens, you know, it's the black box that tells what happened. It's not, you know, one story versus the other story that are, you know, both a little bit wide of the truth, and, you know, truth somewhere in the middle. This will verify the accuracy much more, and you know, when it points out that someone is exaggerating, it's obvious. All right, there we go. Lap done. To get left here, so I'm gonna have to wait for a car or two to get by. Thanks. There, car that actually was very polite, you know. Not every driver would have slowed down there to let me safely get around that traffic circle. Morning. See, that lady was happy. That's how you feel when you're on your bike. It's awesome. At least when the riding's good. Oh, hey Elizabeth. Hi, good. It's heading home. A little bit later than normal, but oh well. Have a good night. Yeah, see you.